Good morning and welcome to episode number 30 of a Finch's Nest podcast. My name is Heather and I will be your host today. So this episode is a special one and it's actually Christmas Eve today, and I decided I would just do a quick video on all the gifts that I made for Christmas this year. I definitely had intentions of more gifts than I actually accomplished, but I did my best, and I do have some fun knits that I want to show you. I actually have a couple little sewing things as well, but mostly my knitting. So if you've followed me in the past, you'll know that I knit for Christmas pretty much all year long. I start usually in January and just kind of spread it out through the year. So it's nice to see my little pile of all the things that I've made. So I'm excited to gift them this year and hope everybody loves what I made them. So I also should have mentioned that you can follow me on Instagram at a Finch's Nest, and if you follow me over there you can see the things that I'm working on. And you know, sometimes I'm really active, sometimes not so active, but kind of just depends on life, right? So anyways, you can follow me at a Finch's Nest if you want. So let's get into Christmas knitting 2025. So I started Christmas knitting many years ago, and I would knit socks for everyone, but my youngest two don't really love hand knit socks. I know, right? What is wrong with them? So I try to do something different for them. So this year, my youngest, Brianna, she has a boyfriend named Brandon. So I thought, well, wouldn't it be cute if I could make them like something to match? And so anyways, I decided to make them matching hats. And I had labels made by the lady who makes my labels that I use on my bags. So it says B plus B, Brianna plus Brandon. Isn't that cute? So this is his, and this is hers. I love them. I think they're so cute. Oh, I think they're so cute. And I'm hoping I can get some cute pictures of them wearing them. So anyways, the yarn that I used for these, I had one ball of each, one ball of the light and one of the dark gray. And they're, of course, Berroco Vintage, because that's my favorite. So this is the dark gray is color number 5107. And the light gray is 5106. And this is the Jelka pattern by Isabel Kraemer. This is such a great pattern. And this brim is double, so it's going to be really cozy warm. And the yarn is so nice. It just feels so soft and squishy. They turned out so nice. I'm so happy with them. So I didn't think he would want a pom-pom. And this basically used all the yarn. I hardly had any left of the two balls, but it was perfect because, you know, it's always nice when you don't have a ton left over. I see a hair hanging from it. So yeah, I just used the leftovers to make the pom-pom with both colors. So yes, I'm so excited about these. I think they're going to love them. So hopefully I can get some cute pictures and post those, and you can see what they look like on. That is definitely a hat I will knit again. I would love to make one for myself. Now I did hers in the medium size, and I did his in the large. And I wouldn't say I have a big head or anything, but I do prefer the fit of the large. The medium fits fine, but if you like it, you know, less tight, I guess, the large fit me fine. So yes. But that's the Jelka hat by Isabel Kraemer. And then the next big project that I had been working on, and you've seen over the year, is sweaters for my grandkids for Christmas. And I am so thrilled with them. Here's a little pile of sweaters. Oh. So this is for Levi. So Levi is 2. And color is a little, oh, there we go. That looks better. So those are the colors I chose. And I'm going to put all the colors that I used for these sweaters in the description below because between them there's sorry, quite a few colors. And they're all Berroco Vintage. So yeah, now this is the one that my cat got to after I finished it and had snagged some of the threads. But I was at my local yarn store one day and she had this little tool that she helped me fix it with. So I was thrilled about that. So now it looks perfect again. So I think I finished this one in like February or maybe March. I don't know, but I've had it for a while. So I'm so excited. I love the way that one turned out. And then this one's for Kroy. So you can see that they have a lot of the same colors in their sweaters. So I didn't want to make them matching, but I wanted them to coordinate. So, and actually, like, I kind of did that because just because I like coordinating things. But it was actually a good idea because then I only had to buy like one ball of all the accent colors. Whereas if they all had different accent colors, I would have had to buy a lot more yarn. So anyways, there's Kroy's. And again, it's the Berroco. Now the body of her sweater is the Berroco, I think it's called Berroco Vintage. Berroco Vintage Baby DK. So some of the colors in the baby DK, you can also get in the regular DK. So the lady the little yarn store that I go to, she didn't have this color in the regular DK, so I just used the baby. And the only difference I think is that it's a 50 gram ball instead of 100. But this darker color is the only one that's the vintage baby. The rest of it is all the vintage DK. So that's for Kroy, and she is 4. So this is this 4 to 6 size, and I believe Levi's was the 2 to 4 size. And this is the Blossoms of Snow sweater by Maria Montzka, and I've knit this now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, I think. So yeah, I had actually test knit this pattern. I was gonna say I got my money's worth out of the pattern, but I didn't pay for the pattern because I did the test knit, so I really did get my money's worth out. So anyways, this one's for Annie, and you can see the colors are all colors are all very similar. Now in here, I know it's hard to see in the camera, that's the dark teal. It looks a lot darker on the screen than it really is, but it is the dark teal like the main body of Kroy's sweater. So this is Annie's. So very pretty. Yeah. So these also have like a double brim on them, or not a brim, collar. Now I noticed with this one, you can see a spot right here. I was having some hand pain when I knit this sweater, and I noticed there's some like uneven stitches in it, but I'm sure Annie won't notice. And it will keep her coat toasty warm, so that's all that matters. So yes, that's the Blossom of Snow sweater by Maria Montzka, all knit in Berroco Vintage DK or Berroco Baby DK. And now we get into the socks. So I do have some notes here so I can tell you what's what. So the first set of socks is for my son-in-law, Sam. He loves all things Carhartt. So when I saw how this yarn was knitting up, I thought, oh, I should have brought my sock blockers. Oh well. I thought these ones really gave Carhartt vibes. So these are for Sam. And there's 2 there. And again, I knit these a few months ago. And this main color is the Rico Design Superba Supi Dupi, color number 5. And then the heel, which is just a plain brown, and the toe, is the Regia 4-ply color 02903. So I think these turned out really nice. And I think they'll go with lots of his clothes because he wears a lot of these sort of different shades of browns and stuff. So I think he'll love those. Now there is enough left of this yarn to knit Levi a little pair of socks to match his daddy. And I was hoping to get those done for Christmas, but I did not. So he'll get those later, and that's fine. And next is socks for my son, Mackenzie. And these are so nice. This is such a nice color for guys. I don't know if you can hear that scratching, but my cat's trying to get in the room. Yeah, so I love this yarn. So nice. Can't remember where I bought this yarn, but it is a very nice one. Nice colors for a guy. Anyways, the yarn, this one here is the Lang Super Sock Silk Superwash. So they do have silk in them. And it's color 666.0407. And then the heels and toes are SugarBush Itty Bitty. And that's color number, oh, it's color slate. So yeah, that's them. They're so nice. They feel really nice too. They feel sturdy but soft at the same time. Really nice. Nice yarn. Very nice. So that's for Mackenzie. And then Nicholas is going to get these socks. These ones look a little funny because they're ribbed. But yeah, they look funny when they're off the foot. But I'm sure once he wears them, they'll look just fine. They look really like, I don't know. They look funny. But I'm sure they'll be really comfy with all the ribbing. And I'm sure they'll look fine on his feet. But they look kind of funny just like this. So yeah, this is another pair that I knit quite a while ago. And this is, the heel and toe are the Patons Kroy Gentry Gray. And then the main color is the Nako Boho, color 82453, which is gray Mandala. Also a very nice color for guys. Yeah, so it's another pair. And then what do we have next? We have this pair of socks. These are for one of my daughter-in-laws, Crystal. She loves purple and like lilac colors, so I thought these would be a good match for her, even though there's quite a bit of pink in them as well. But I think she'll like these. I really like these ones. I had a hard time parting with these ones. Actually, two of the girls' socks I had a hard time parting with this year, but yeah, this is a really nice yarn. Now this yarn, I do not know what it is. I lost the ball band and I don't know what it is. My guess is it's a Lang. Actually, I know it's a Lang because I had the little spool for the heels and toes. But other than that, I don't know anything about the color. But it sure is pretty. And these do feel like a very sturdy sock. So I'm sure she'll like those. And then the last pair of socks is for my daughter. And I was looking back when I recorded when I finished these socks. And I was like, I'm definitely keeping these for myself. I'm definitely not giving them away. But my daughter will love them. So I'm giving them away. It's okay. I can make another pair. And I actually have more of the exact same yarn. So I can make them exactly the same if I want. So yes, and I know she'll love these. So the gray is the Patons Kroy Gentry Gray, and the pink is what is it? Uni Merino, color 107. So cute. And this pattern is from the Summerly Knits Color Cuff Club from last year, and this was the August sock. Adorable. Probably one of my favorite ones that I did from her Cuff Club last year. So those will go to my daughter Katie, and I know she'll love them. She loves all things flowers, so yep. And then just two more knits. So my daughter Allie is also one that doesn't love hand knit socks, but she loves wearing a hat in the winter, so I did make her this hat. And again, I had a little tag made. I thought they just add something cute to the hat. So this is a Musselburgh hat, and that pattern's by Ysolda Teage. And this is a Madelinetosh Merino Light, and it was a one-of-a-kind colorway. It's very pretty. Lots of different shades of pink. And her tag. Her name's Allie. So, anyways, I think she'll like it, and she'll probably get a ton of use out of it. She usually has a hat on every day in the winter, so that's good. And then the next one is a little bit of an odd one, I will say. So, I have a daughter-in-law, her name's E, and she messaged me a couple weeks ago with a picture of a hat that looks like a teapot. And she said something like she would like this for Christmas. And I originally thought she was joking. And then I realized she wasn't joking. She really did want a hat that looked like a teapot. So I made it happen. Because what are you supposed to do when someone wants a hat that looks like a teapot? So this was my best attempt at a hat that looks like a teapot. And I do think it does look like a teapot. I don't know what it's going to look like when she wears it, but I don't imagine most hats that look like teapots are very flattering. So, you know, but this is what she wanted, so this is what she's getting. So, I don't know about this spout. I tried not to overstuff it, but enough that it would be okay. I also, when I sewed this on, did I sew this together? I'm trying to think now. I can't remember if I knit this flat. I can't even remember what I did. It was only last week. But I did put a pipe cleaner in here to help, like, once you shape it. And then I put pipe cleaners in the handle as well. So this is just an I-cord, and so I did it around 2 pipe cleaners. So hopefully that will hold its shape a little better. But yeah, I've never had a request for a hat that looks like a teapot before. So there's first time for everything. So there it is. So I did find a free pattern on Ravelry for a hat that looks like a teapot. So apparently my daughter-in-law is not the only one who wanted one. And it called for a bulky yarn, which I didn't have any in my stash. So I just went to Hobby Lobby and bought this Yarn Bee Tender Touch. And it's the color Pale Teal. So this is a bulky weight. So I thought I was going to run out of yarn, and that's why I added the stripes. But I probably would have had enough because I did have some left over. But I am glad I did the stripes because I think it does help to make it look like there's this row of purling here to help it look like this is the lid. But I think if it was all one color, it would be maybe more difficult to see that. But anyways, that's the teapot hat. And then the rest is just sewing. And so the one big sewing project that I did not get to, which I'm disappointed about, is I'm giving my granddaughters American Girl dolls for Christmas, and I wanted to make them some clothes to go with their dolls, and I ran out of time. So, and I still, yeah. Anyways, I ran out of time. It's not going to happen. So I think I'm just going to make them whenever and just drop them off one day, and it'll be just like a fun surprise. So, and you know, at Christmas I get lots anyway, so it's fine. I just am disappointed. And I've been planning it for months. Like, I should have just done it months ago. But anyways, so when I was doing my markets this year, I had made these little pouches with the matching key fobs, and they were very popular. So then I thought, well, maybe my daughters and daughter-in-laws would like one for Christmas. So they're each getting one. And I just put in a hand cream and a chapstick. So yeah, they're all going to get one of these, and they don't have to, they don't have to use it for those particular things. They can put in their credit cards or whatever they want, but I just thought it would be fun to give them something inside. So this one is for E, and this one is for Allie. The ones that live at home, it was easy to pick the fabrics for them because they were always looking at my stuff and telling me which ones they really liked, so I knew. The ones who don't live at home, I had to kind of guess. And this one's for Katie, and I know she loves this fabric. And this one is for Brianna, strawberries. And then this one is for Crystal. So Crystal really loves purple, so I'm hoping she'll like this, even though it's not, some of the little flowers are purple. The background's more like a wine burgundy color, but they're cute. So yeah, so that's all my making. And it's funny because now that, it's all here, and it's, it's a lot of knitting and a lot of, well, not a lot of sewing, but a lot of knitting and a lot of hours. But it really, like when you see it piled up, it doesn't even look like that much. It's like, wow, I spent a lot of time. But anyways, I'm glad everybody's getting something handmade for Christmas. And I'm glad I made the deadline. Except for those doll clothes. That was kind of the only thing that didn't get done. So they'll get done at some point. And I might enjoy the process of making the doll clothes more if I'm not feeling the deadline of Christmas. So anyways, that's what I made for Christmas in 2025. So I already have ideas of things I want to make next year. I may do something different instead of socks next year. I was thinking, I really love those Jelka hats that I knit for Brandon and Brianna. So I don't know if I should knit some of these ones for everyone, or do something different. But I do have patterns chosen for my granddaughter's sweaters for next year. So I guess I got to get started on those soon if I'm going to make next year's deadline. So, and next year we're going to have another little one in the family. So I'll have one more little sweater to make. So, and as these kids get bigger, their sweaters get bigger. So anyways, today is Christmas Eve, and one of my sons will be arriving today. And then my other son will arrive on Boxing Day, and we will celebrate on Boxing Day. So I'm excited that my son's coming today. I still have a lot to do before I can pull off Christmas. But I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope it's restful. And I hope you can get lost in that week between Christmas and New Year's. I feel like that's the best week of the year. The chaos is over. There's no pending deadlines. You can just relax. And there's lots of leftovers and leftover baking in the house. And I feel like you can just, what's the word? You can justify being a little lazy that week. So I hope you have a wonderful week between Christmas and New Year's. And I hope you have the best 2026. Thanks for following me this year and for checking out my hand knits, and let's continue this journey into 2026. So take care, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.